it becomes the most significant part of the course in terms of its effect on behaviour. Because as clearly some of you have discovered, it's not quite as easy as just saying, I'm going to do the mung beans diet, or I'm going to do the green diet, and nothing else happening, you're just eating different food. It's a primary way of altering the blood chemistry and altering your overall biochemistry, which is why your mood changes significantly when you engage in a mono diet. Now, Kundalini Yoga is the dietary aspect of Kundalini Yoga is predicated on mono diets. So we don't really have a history of doing fasting, eating nothing, although for protracted periods it is recommended to fast 3 days a month, new moon, full moon, the 11th day of the moon, to take advantage of what the glandular system is doing at that time. But outside of that, the recommendation is mono diets. And the reason for that is it's like a mantra. Waheguru, Waheguru, Waheguru. It's the same imprinting of, in effect, bioinformation into your system. And that can be hugely challenging. Hugely challenging. I remember a few years ago, we were up in the barn, and we were introducing the diet. And this woman said, I think this is going to be really tough for me. And I said, well, you know, it's a challenge for everybody, but how come you think it's going to be so tough for you? And she said, well, because it's just so different from my normal diet. And I said, well, it's probably different for, you know, from many of our diets, but what is your... She said, no, it's totally different than my diet. I said, okay, well, what is your usual diet? My usual diet is crisps, biscuits and Coke.
Oh, God.
And I said, you're kidding? She said, no, that's all I eat. So you can imagine what she went through. The problem with processed food is that it's hugely rich in salt, in fat and in sugar. And consequently it kind of completely masks our taste buds. So by the time we're 5 or 6 or 7 years old, we're kind of like brainwashed, or rather our taste buds are completely set to food that is, from an energetic perspective, wrecked. And it's one of the reasons why ADHD and similar conditions are so prevalent with young people, because we're brought up with completely the wrong kind of food that overstimulates us and upsets our biochemistry. So persevere with your diets. It's pretty cold to be doing the fruit, nuts and vegetables, but there we are. It's been a bit of a tough winter for us, but as we go into the next few weeks, hopefully the weather will break, and that will make things a little easier for you. In the level 1 program, we ask you to attempt the 140-day program, but if you, I don't know if have you done the dietary section yet? If you've looked at those pages, you'll find there's actually several mono diets that are noted there, and they are absolutely worth practicing. If you have real difficulty with this 40-day one, then probably leave it a few months, then repeat it before you go on to one of the more difficult ones like the melon cleanse or the dreaded banana diet, which is really something. But it's all part of Kundalini's rich tapestry, because it doesn't take very long from your contact with Kundalini before you realise that there's a lot more to it than asana and pranayama. You know, the whole kind of historical, philosophical context that underlies it, the healing practices, the 10-body system. There's a lot of stuff that's absolutely unique to it, and it kind of it becomes much more interesting every step you take. So I think that's probably enough for me now, because this is an important weekend for you, because this is going to be the first time that some of you teach, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Well, piece of advice: panic with dignity. You'll be fine.